It was a dark and stormy night when Karen pulled into the gas station, her car running on fumes. As she stepped out of her car and walked to the pump, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The gas station was deserted, except for a lone attendant who was sitting behind the counter, staring blankly at a TV screen. Karen tried to ignore the feeling of unease that crept up her spine and focused on filling up her tank. But then, she heard a noise coming from the bathroom. It sounded like someone was moaning in pain. Karen hesitated, unsure of what to do. She asked the attendant if he had heard anything, but he just shrugged and went back to watching TV. Karen's curiosity got the best of her, and she cautiously approached the bathroom. She pushed open the door and was hit by a wave of foul-smelling air. The bathroom was in disarray, with toilet paper strewn across the floor and the sink overflowing with water. Karen called out, but there was no response. She was about to leave when she heard the moaning again, coming from one of the stalls. She slowly pushed the door open and gasped in horror. There was a man slumped over the toilet, his skin pale and his eyes rolled back in his head. He was covered in blood, and Karen realized that he had been stabbed repeatedly. She stumbled back, her heart pounding in her chest. As she ran back to her car, Karen heard footsteps behind her. She turned around and saw a figure emerging from the darkness, brandishing a bloody knife. She ran faster, her heart racing as she fumbled with her car keys. Karen finally managed to unlock her car and jumped in, quickly locking the doors. She saw the figure approaching her car and she hit the gas pedal. Speeding out of the gas station as fast as she could. When she finally made it to safety, Karen called the police and reported what she had seen. But when the police arrived at the gas station, there was no sign of the attendant or the killer. To this day, the mystery of the gas station remains unsolved, haunting the minds of those who dare to venture out into the night. The shocking incident at the gas station left Karen traumatized and deeply disturbed. She couldn't shake the image of the man slumped over the toilet, his blood staining the walls of the bathroom. As the days passed, Karen began to experience strange occurrences. She would hear moaning in her sleep, and sometimes she would wake up to find bloody footprints on her bedroom floor. She tried to convince herself that it was just her imagination, but the fear continued to grow inside her. One night, Karen received a call from an unknown number. It was a low, raspy voice that sent chills down her spine. The voice whispered her name and then hung up. Karen was certain it was the killer from the gas station, calling to taunt her. After that, Karen became paranoid, always looking over her shoulder and jumping at every little sound. She was too afraid to leave her house at night, and even during the day, she felt like someone was watching her. One night, as Karen was lying in bed, she heard a noise coming from outside her window. She got up and cautiously approached the window, her heart pounding in her chest. As she peered through the blinds, she saw a dark figure standing outside, holding a bloody knife. Karen screamed and ran to her phone, dialing 911. But when the police arrived, there was no sign of the killer. They searched the area, but found nothing. Karen knew she had to do something to protect herself. She began taking self-defense classes and installed security cameras around her house. But the fear continued to consume her, and she could never shake the feeling that the killer was still out there, watching and waiting. Years passed, and Karen eventually moved away from the town where the gas station was located. But she could never forget the horror she had experienced that night, and the fear stayed with her for the rest of her life. The mystery of the gas station killer was never solved, and the town remained haunted by the memory of the brutal murder. To this day, people still whisper about the gas station and the unknown killer who lurked in the darkness. Some people in the town believed that the gas station was cursed, that it had become a magnet for evil and darkness. Others believed that the killer was still out there, lurking in the shadows and waiting for his next victim. Despite the rumors and the fear, the gas station remained open, serving customers day and night. But there was a sense of unease that lingered, a feeling that something was not quite right. One night, a group of teenagers decided to play a prank and break into the gas station. They thought it would be funny to scare their friends by telling them stories about the gas station killer. But as they wandered through the empty aisles, they realized that they were not alone. There was a presence in the gas station, a dark and malevolent force that seemed to be watching them. Suddenly, the lights went out, and the teenagers were plunged into darkness. They heard footsteps approaching, and then a low, raspy voice whispered their names. The teenagers screamed and ran for the exit, but the door was locked. They were trapped, with the killer closing in on them. Just as they thought all was lost, the lights flickered back on, revealing the gas station attendant standing in front of them. He had a stern look on his face, and the teenagers could see that he was holding a gun. The attendant explained that he had been watching them on the security cameras and had seen everything. He chastised them for their foolishness and then let them go, warning them never to come back. The teenagers left the gas station, shaken but relieved. They knew that they had narrowly escaped a terrible fate, and they vowed never to play pranks at the gas station again. As for the gas station, it remained a place of mystery and fear, a reminder of the darkness that lurks in the shadows. And the killer? Some say he was caught and put behind bars, while others believe that he still roams the town, waiting for his next victim. Over the years, the gas station became a place of fascination among paranormal enthusiasts and thrill seekers. Some believed that the gas station was a portal to the other world,